Hello everyone and welcome to the official SWGT YouTube channel. My name is Sarusa. Today we're going to take a look at SWGT update 6.11.3 through 6.12.0. There's a lot to it, and so let's dive in. It has been a very busy month and I just haven't had time to actually record videos for all the updates. I've been focusing on the updates themselves and not necessarily recording videos for them. So this video is going to be a longer one because we have all the changes that have happened essentially all throughout April. So we'll start off by heading over to the account analytics area. If we go to account summary, the first big change today is I have implemented a new style for all of the graph metrics. And so, for instance, violent used to just be a number with an overall color. I did post a vote up in Discord, and everybody voted that they did like the new style as far as having a progress bar and or an actual donut style. So that change has been made, and it has been made all the way through. While we're here, I also added a overall summary as well, so that way you can see overall for this entire section, that is your current overall percentage. And so you can see my account summary is looking pretty bad, but I have gone through and tweaked all my settings to be a lot more harsh, so that way I can really focus on things that I am missing overall. There's a small textual change down here. If we look at the farming priority, I have gone through and added, it used to just be raid. Now it does say rift/raid because it is technically a gem or a grind. So that way this now lines up with what it is trying to actually tell you. There was a request on Discord. If we scroll on down to the artifact section, there was a request on Discord for crit damage with more enemy HP in combination with own turn, in combination with attack up or defense up. So I have gone through and added those lines. It did make sense to go through and add them. So they are added over here on the left-hand side, and we did go through and add them on the right-hand side where they're applicable, specifically where the main is attack. Scrolling back all the way up to the top, if we go up to help and we go to frequently asked questions, when you go through and search, there used to be a bug where if you searched for, let's say, account, you would not be able to actually click on this and just see that one individual list, so you can go through and share that top link. So I have gone through and made that change so that when you search, you can actually click on the entry so you can get to the individual FAQ entry. And then if you wanted to, of course, copy and paste that off to a friend or into your actual Discord, you can, of course, do that as well. While we're here, if we go into the top menu, somebody had recommended it'd be nice to be able to show what user you are currently logged in as. So in the menu up here, it does show the username that you're currently logged in as. It also shows in the log out button down here in the setup, and that also works too on mobile. Heading over to any of the new monster search dialogues, there was a recommendation from somebody on Discord where if I say enter in tractor, instead of having to have me click the monster icon in order to select, why can't I just have it where I press enter and it would go through and select? So there is a caveat. It has to be only one monster in the list. So if you search for Fran, for example, that's not enough for you to go through and press enter. But if you wanted to search for, like I said, Tractor or Megan, so on and so forth, just a nice little feature. It's a nice little quality of life update, and hopefully that'll help out everybody that is trying to use the new search functionalities. There was a bug in the Siege Simulator, specifically for Yellow 5. It was accidentally connected to a tower. I think it was Blue 9 was the one that it was connected to. All these towers have to be connected manually. It is a lot of numbers, obviously. You have to connect. For example, for this one, I have to go through and make 1, 2, 3, 4 connections. So I have to actually go through and physically type in all of those numbers. And so I just had a simple typo. I have gone through and made an entire pass over it again. So all of them now line up. So there shouldn't be any more issues. Oh, before I forget, if we go back to the FAQ, there was a weird bug that actually required you to be logged in order to search. That was a bug. It was not intended at all. So I have gone through and made that fix on the FAQ. On the SWGT personal side, if we go to artifact details, there was a bug where the dropdowns would not show properly. It wasn't showing essentially anything in these dropdowns. So that bug was fixed. It was actually caused by, if we go into any of my monsters, for example, if we go into, let's say, Annabelle, if we go into the artifact subproperties, technically I link this into the artifact details search screen. You just don't know it. And so actually behind the scenes, I'm basically hiding and showing the subproperties. So that way only the ones that apply to Annabelle are showing in the dropdown. And so while doing that enhancement, it actually caused the artifact details screen to actually break. The next update line takes us over to rune and artifact recent. And so I have gone through and made a change. This one took quite a bit to actually get done. But essentially, as you're live dropping these runes, as you're live dropping these artifacts, I have added a badge now if the rune or artifact matches your criteria on your account summary. So that way, if you're looking for specific things in order to fill in your account summary, it's just a nice feature to see whether you're actually making progress, whether you're actually dropping runes that actually qualify to help make your account summary better. So really nice feature. Somebody had recommended it on Discord. It took quite a bit to get it done because obviously, with account summary, it's taking all of your account information versus this is just one rune at a time, right? It does, of course, work with recent artifacts as well. And so those badges do, of course, show. And there is a hover there, so that way, in case you were wondering what it actually did, but I did have a little small subtext up here as well. Somebody else had asked on Discord, hey, is it possible to show monster pieces as well as sealed monster shrine? And so there is a plugin update. So if you are a SWGT personal subscriber, please go through and update your plugin. The update link is the standard one as always. If you are using SWGT 0.0.62 or better, if you just close SWGT and reopen it, as long as the automatic update of plugins is turned on in your settings, the plugin will actually update automatically for you, so you don't have to actually go through and do anything. But if you don't, then you have to do it manually. And those steps are, of course, in your setup under SWGT Personal Setup with SWGT. Essentially, if we now go over to Account Analytics and go to Monster Collection, you'll see that these numbers are obviously a whole lot bigger. So for example, if I click on the Water Martial Artist, you'll see that I have one built sitting in either the island or in storage, and I have 435 sitting on my Monster Shrine. This works really well for things like Soha, for example, where you have 2 built and 17 in the shrine, and then you have a whole bunch of pieces that would actually yield out to a total of 10. So for me, I have a total of 29 Soha that I could technically summon and or use on my actual account. So again, it does require a plugin update. The Sealed Monster Shrine specifically is only when you actually click on the Sealed Monster Shrine. That is the only way that it will actually go through and update. So you have to actually be running SWGT with the plugin in the game. Once you're on your island, you go into your Sealed Monster Shrine, click on the icon, and actually view the storage, and then you'll see SWGT will go through and update. Sadly, it's not a part of the overall player JSON. On the SWGT guild side, I have gone through and added in a notification in the top right corner for new users. So that way, if a user has requested a login to your guild site, that now will show, of course, in your notification area if you are a super user on your guild site. Another change that was made was if we go under the hamburger menu and we go to guild account summary, I have gone through and streamlined this screen. These used to show artifact left and right, and then it was actually missing the rune speed by set. So I have added in the rune speed by set, and then I changed the artifacts to all. So instead of showing right and left, it just shows a overall summary. And as always, if a guild member has authorized to see their information, you will, of course, see the view icon. And last but certainly not least for today, if we go up to the hamburger menu and we go to guild and we go to team builder, once we're in one of our plans, if we go to the monster pool, I have added a search icon now here too. So if you wanted to search for Alaya or Jara, for example, or Perna, whatever that may be, just allows you to be able to search easily instead of having to try and find the icon. And another nice thing that in case you didn't know, if you click on the monster icon, it'll show you who has which monster and how many they actually have. And that's it for today. I just wanted to say a thank you to all the Patreon members who subscribe to SWGT and to all the people that constantly give feedback about the platform. It's only through your support and efforts that SWGT is what it is today. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. We all make SWGT better together. And with that, don't forget to smash those like buttons, and I'll see all of you on the battlefield.